Hey everyone, welcome to this Tower TV buying guide for the Tamiya TAO 3R-S. The body that comes on this chassis is going to be the 1996 Porsche 911 GT1 Street. Of course, street meaning street car, street legal. That's what this car was when it actually came out in 1:1 scale back in 1996. So we're going to go over some of the scale details on the body, a little bit of chassis details, but mainly just the stuff you need to know so you can get rolling and on your way with this Porsche 911. So right off the bat, the body looks absolutely beautiful. The lines on the body are just like the real Porsche. I'm personally a Porsche fan, so I favor for this car and this body. So one cool thing, or I guess three cool things, are the side mirrors and the actual rear wing can come off separately. So there's body clips that can go on the inside of them. You clip those on so they don't fall off. Of course, we don't have any body clips on, so you can just pull that wing right off and I guess run it wingless, but kind of look a little ugly. So you just slide the wing on and put the body clips on from underneath. Same with the side view mirrors, those slide right off and you can put the body clips on. It does recommend you paint it white, just like the box, and we have it here. It comes with all the stickers you need. Windows, all the headlights and all the stuff like that. The one thing I was kind of upset about, on the box you can see that has like the door lines and the hood lines, and actually in the painting instructions it didn't really tell you how to do those. I'm going to assume they went in there with like a Sharpie or a pencil to put those body lines in there, but the manual just told you to spray it white, to me a regular white. Not a big deal. I think it still looks really good, but maybe with the body lines it would look a bit better. So maybe one day we'll go in and add those body lines, do a video on that so you guys can see. Another thing I wasn't a huge fan of is that in the back of the body it actually comes with a pre-cut out antenna hole, which is awesome. It's pre-cut out, but most receivers nowadays don't have long antennas, or if any antenna. So that kind of just ruins the look of the body for me, since there's a big hole in the back. Maybe something they could adjust, just make that not pre-cut out like the side mirror holes weren't pre-cut out. So just a couple tweaks here and there, but other than that, body went together flawlessly, cuts out real nice, stickers all went on nice and good. So we're going to take the body off and get onto the inside of the chassis. All right, we've taken the body off, so now we can see on the inside of the chassis that this is a belt-driven four-wheel drive car. So the belt is going to start in the rear and work its way up to the front. The one thing I thought was cool is that in the center of the chassis, it actually has a belt tensioner wheel. So you can either make that belt tighter or looser depending on how fast of a motor you're running or what type of track conditions you're driving on. That's a really cool option. Moving on to the electronics, it only comes with that brushed motor that is kind of the spec thing for Tamiya. Other than that, you're going to need a receiver, a servo, and an ESC. I've put a Dynamite, just regular brushed ESC in mine, along with a Spectrum SR315, 515 receiver, and then I went ahead and put just a regular Spectrum metal geared servo in it. Nothing too special there. The one neat thing I think on this is that the battery actually slides in from the side of the chassis, and it's kind of that oval type old school nickel metal battery, but they actually make LiPos like that. So Dynamite makes a 1800 milliamp LiPo that's that exact oval shape and can slide right into that slot. So that's the battery I'll be personally using. Not too many things on the chassis that I didn't like. It's not hard to put together. A couple tricky things in the transmission, but other than that, went together flawlessly and smoothly. You can get a bearing kit for this instead of using the stock bushings and kind of plastic bearings that come in here. Tires are nice. They actually have foam inside the tires to get a little bit of that air gap out of there. They recommend you glue on the tires. And then the one thing I didn't like is they had you add a lot of kind of ride height spacers or suspension spacers in the shocks, and it just made the body on the car sit a little higher than I personally wanted. So I went ahead and just took those out, lowered it down a little bit, which is obviously something you can adjust while you're building the car, but in the kit it does recommend you make those a little bit higher, and that might just be for less chassis rub on the ground depending on what kind of surface you're driving on. Other than that, no real problems with the chassis. There's a lot of tuning options that you can do with this. Obviously, springs, shock wheels. I can see that there's sway bar mounts on here, so you can get optional sway bars if you want to go and race this thing. I know there's a ton of custom parts out there and one-off parts for this thing because it is a bit of an older chassis, but a lot of the old school guys loved growing up racing with these, so it's very cool. All right, everyone, that's all I got for this buying guide on the 1996 Porsche 911 GT1 Street. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. And of course, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.